Think back to school. Your teacher stood at the front of the class and taught you the 9 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. You memorized them. You wrote them on tests. You got them right. Every single one of those answers was wrong. Not because your teacher lied to you, but because in 2006, while you were going about your life, a group of scientists met in Prague and quietly changed everything you knew about our solar system in one vote, without telling you. Today, we are going to fix what school got wrong. And by the end of this video, you will understand our solar system better than most people alive. First, let us understand what a planet actually is. Before 2006, there was no official definition. Seriously. Scientists had been calling things planets for centuries, without ever agreeing on what a planet actually meant. Mercury was a planet. Jupiter was a planet. Pluto was a planet. Nobody questioned it. Nobody needed to. Until they found something that changed everything. In 2005, astronomers discovered a new object beyond Neptune. They called it Eris. And Eris was a problem, because Eris was larger than Pluto. If Pluto was a planet, then Eris was a planet. And if Eris was a planet, then there were dozens more objects out there the same size waiting to be discovered. The solar system was about to go from 9 planets to 50. Scientists had a choice. Either accept 50 planets, or create a definition that sorted everything out. They chose definition. In August 2006, the International Astronomical Union voted on 3 rules. 3 things every planet must do. Rule 1. It must orbit the Sun. Rule 2. It must be massive enough that gravity pulls it into a round shape. Rule 3. This is the one that changed everything. It must clear its orbital path of all other objects. Pluto failed Rule 3. Pluto shares its orbital path with thousands of other objects in the Kuiper belt. It has never cleared them. It cannot clear them. Pluto is too small, too weak, too insignificant in its own neighborhood to be called a planet. So Pluto became a dwarf planet, and the solar system went from 9 planets to 8. But here is what nobody talks about. What nobody told you after the vote. Neptune almost failed too. Neptune shares its orbital path with thousands of Kuiper belt objects, just like Pluto did. The difference between Neptune keeping its planet status and losing it was a calculation. Scientists calculated that Neptune is massive enough that its gravity dominates its orbital zone, even if it has not physically cleared every object from its path. Its gravitational influence controls that region of space. Pluto does not have that gravitational dominance. Neptune barely does. Barely. And that barely is the only reason Neptune is still called a game planet today. One calculation, one vote, one word. Barely. Now let us talk about Neptune itself, because even calling it barely a planet undersells how strange this world actually is. Neptune is the 8th and outermost planet in our solar system. It is 2.8 billion miles from the Sun. To put that in perspective, light travels at 186,000 miles per second, the fastest thing in the universe. And it takes light 4 hours to travel from the Sun to Neptune. 4 hours at the speed of light. We sent a spacecraft to Neptune once. Voyager 2. It launched in 1977. It traveled for 12 years. And it flew past Neptune in 1989 in a matter of hours. 12 years of travel for a few hours of data. We have never been back. What Voyager 2 found was terrifying. Neptune has winds. Not Earth winds. Not hurricane winds. The fastest winds in the solar system. 1,200 miles per hour. On Earth, a Category 5 hurricane has winds of 157 miles per hour. The most destructive storm in recorded human history. Neptune's everyday normal background wind speed. is 7 times faster than our worst hurricane. 7 times. And those are not storm winds on Neptune. That is just Tuesday. Neptune also has a storm that has been raging continuously for centuries. The Great Dark Spot. A storm larger than the entire Earth, spinning in the atmosphere of a world so far away that when you look at Neptune in the night sky, you cannot see it with your naked eye. It is invisible. A storm larger than Earth happening on a world you cannot even see. And Neptune is cold. Obviously cold. 2.8 billion miles from the Sun. Surface temperature of minus 353 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold enough to freeze everything we know. But here is the mystery that keeps scientists awake. Neptune emits more heat than it receives from the Sun. 2.5 times more. Neptune is generating its own internal heat. From somewhere. From something. We do not know what. A planet 2.8 billion miles from the Sun, barely receiving any solar energy at all, is somehow generating enormous amounts of internal heat. The source of that heat is one of the great unsolved mysteries of our solar system. And then there is Triton, Neptune's largest moon. Triton is one of the most dangerous and mysterious objects in our solar system. Every moon in our solar system orbits its planet in the same direction the planet rotates. Every single one. Except Triton. Triton orbits Neptune backwards, in the opposite direction to Neptune's rotation. This should be impossible. No moon forms naturally in a backwards orbit. The physics do not allow it. Which means Triton was not always Neptune's moon. It was captured. Triton was a free object drifting through the outer solar system. And Neptune's gravity captured it billions of years ago, pulled it in, trapped it forever in a backwards orbit. And because Triton orbits backwards, it is slowly spiraling inward toward Neptune, getting closer every year, in approximately 3.6 billion years. Triton will get so close to Neptune that Neptune's gravity will tear it apart. The tidal forces will rip Triton into millions of pieces, and Neptune will have rings. Spectacular rings. More impressive than Saturn, for a few 100 million years, until the pieces gradually drift away. So to summarize everything you were not taught in school, Neptune is barely a planet by one calculation. It has the fastest winds in the solar system at 1,200 miles per hour. It generates more heat than it receives from the Sun, and we do not know why. Its largest moon orbits backwards and is being slowly pulled toward a catastrophic destruction in 3.6 billion years. And we have visited it once, for a few hours, 35 years ago. We know almost nothing about the 8th planet in our solar system. The one that almost was not a planet. The one that barely made the cut by one vote in one room in Prague in 2006. The universe is full of things school never told you about. Subscribe to Decode Deep Space. Every week we go somewhere the universe keeps secret.